The worst year for a lot of us for our mental as well as physical health. So joining us this morning is best-selling author, coach, and fitness expert, Lisa Goldenthal.
Hello and welcome. I'm Lisa G, your host. You're at the top of your game, yet the game is changing faster than ever. Strategies that got you here aren't the ones that'll keep you here. The pressure is relentless and the fear of obsolescence looms large. That's why I'm here. Welcome to the new podcast series, Disrupted: How to Be Gritty and Unlock Performance. This is your chance where I sit down with today's top experts in business, mindset, wellness, and success to help you master disruption and thrive.
Thanks for coming, and I'll see you soon.
Best-selling author, award-winning online marketer, LinkedIn expert, and speaker. I am so excited. Welcome to the podcast, Scott Aaron.
Hi, Lisa. Thanks for having me and just grateful to be here.
I've been following you for a long time on LinkedIn, and I know that that is where some of your ninja skills lie. So why don't we jump into the topic on why LinkedIn is such a great place that I love, where I've met so many of my experts, and what can we do to be a ninja like you on LinkedIn?
Well, I would say anyone that's looking to become an expert in any area or field, much like my background in health and wellness, it's all about repetition. It's all about having a routine, and it's also about being structured. But I always go back to something that T. Harv Eker says, and he says, every master was once a disaster. So it wasn't what people see now with everything that I'm doing with LinkedIn and the company that my wife and I run together, compared to where I was when I first started really teaching and consulting around LinkedIn back in 2013. It's much different than it is today. You know, you have to fail forward. And I think for anyone that's looking to really up-level their skills in any expertise or zone of genius, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes consistency, all those things that if you want to build the best body, those same principles correlate to building the best business brand and obviously expertise. And just giving things time, not putting too much pressure on yourself, leaning into the uncomfortable, and just taking things one step at a time and moving that needle forward.
Well, I absolutely. Every master was once a disaster. That is
ready to support performance, nutrition.
That is true.
With omega-3s made by and used.
Okay, every master was once a disaster. That is so freaking fabulous. And putting in the reps, I love that analogy too. I know you've helped thousands of people explode their growth, and that we do have to put in the time, because I know in my own journey, I had to learn the really hard way to enjoy the journey and the process instead of expecting I want it all right now. So do you have any other ninja tips on LinkedIn before we jump into the next topic?
Yeah, you know, with LinkedIn, obviously there's 4 core principles that I always tell people. You know, number one is making sure that your LinkedIn profile is a relevant and clear depiction of who you are, who you serve, and how you serve them. I always tell people that you need to put yourself into the passenger side perspective of things, meaning the person that you're looking to serve and help the most. And what people fail to recognize is that our LinkedIn profiles have the same SEO as do our websites. So your LinkedIn profile is just like the homepage to a website. So if it's not optimized the right way, if all of your sections are not filled out properly, you're basically invisible on LinkedIn. So if you want to appear in more searches, much like any other search engine out there like Google and Yahoo, you have to take advantage of the SEO. The second thing is building the right type of network. You don't want to just spray and pray and send as many connection requests as possible to people. You want to classify 2 different types of connections, one being an ideal potential client and the other being a business ally, someone that you can connect with. You can do collaborations like Lisa and I are doing today, and the way that you can support other people within your network as referral partners. The third aspect is messaging people the right way. So you don't want to be a spammer where you're sending some 18 paragraph long drunkalog verbal vomit message where you're just pitching and selling to people. You want to really let people know that you're looking to connect with them, to find out more about them and their business, share more about you and your business, and how you can support each other. That's what LinkedIn is best used for from a messaging standpoint, not just a giant open-ended sales pitch. That's a way to repel people. You want to bring people closer to you. And the fourth and final principle is understanding that you need to be a person of value. And the way that you position yourself as a person of value is providing relevant content every single week on LinkedIn. I usually recommend 3 days a week, either Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And you need to distribute different types of content. That could be a post, a video, a newsletter article, or a newsletter edition. It could be a document, a poll, or even a short form or even long form LinkedIn Live. So if you're positioning yourself as the expert, but also a person of value, you're messaging people the right way to build those relationships, you're building the right kind of network, and you've optimized your LinkedIn profile the right way, obviously LinkedIn is going to work for you.
Wow, so many ways. I can't even tell you. A lot of times people think that the old way, that your profile is a resume, and that's simply not true. And the SEO power of LinkedIn is such wisdom bomb. And I can't even tell you about the spam pitch slap people that I'm getting all the time that don't understand about relationship building. So can we dive a little bit deeper into the value of doing collaborations and relationship building and not just trying to pitch fest everybody?
Well, I think a simple analogy is an army of two is twice as strong as an army of one. So
Right.
if you're just going at it alone, you're not going to really get too far. For myself and Nancy and the business that we run, it's predicated on having as many business partnerships as possible, because I can't introduce myself to as many people as I want to every single day. But doing podcast collaborations, doing joint ventures, doing collaborative summits automatically puts me in front of a whole new audience, which they get to know, like, and trust me, which will get them onto my email list where I can nurture them with, free content, which could be my podcast episodes or free workshops that we do. And again, this is how LinkedIn can be leveraged. So you can't think of LinkedIn, yes, it's for generating sales and leads, but it's the quality over quantity aspect that a lot of people are not adapting enough to. People are just doing, again, back to something that I said a few minutes ago, this spray and pray methodology. It's not the amount of messages or connections that you send. It's the quality of the connections that you have. It's the quality of the message that you're sending. It's the quality of the relationships that you're building. It's the quality of the content that you're providing. So as long as you take the stance of everything that you do is 100% quality, you're going to get a positive ROI on all of your efforts on the platform.
Wow. I love that focus on quality and the spray and pray. There's so in here is not the thing to do. So we all want to actually, it's almost like you're going out and you see somebody and you want to be like, hello, I can help you book up your calendar, or hi, I'm Lisa. I'd love to hear more about you. Do you, is this where you're from? It's such a similar thing, isn't it, with relationships?
Well, it's just like dating. So do you want a one night stand or do you want to do a long, meaningful relationship? So, with my wife, it was 3 dates before we decided, okay, this is it. We're meant for each other. We're moving forward.
Right.
You think about the concept of are you looking to just have a one night stand with the people that you're connecting with? Or are you looking to have a long, meaningful connection and relationship with them? So if you take that stance of building the long-term relationship, you're going to get long-term results.
I love that. It's like dating. It's almost like you don't want someone that wants to take you to bed right away. You want them to at least kiss you first and buy you some flowers, right?
Exactly. You got to give in order to get. And again, if it's got to be done with the other person's intention in mind. You can't do things from a self-serving standpoint. Right. It's not about what's in it for me. It's what can I do to enhance the experience of the other person.
That's wonderful question. I started this podcast to help people be unstoppable in 2020. And who would have known that we've been in like disruption after disruption since then. Do you have any tips for our audience on what is a feel good business model? Like how can we move away from that spray and pray and spam bot kind of person?
Well, at the time that we're recording this, my wife and I are putting the final touches on our first collaborative book. It's a co-authored book by her and myself called The Feel Good Business Model. And
Wow.
it's predicated on how we've grown and scaled our business to only have to work 3 days a week, having a small team in place, a business that generates high revenue, very low overhead, which means high profit. And we want to share that with the world. And the fact of the matter is that, you can't see the label from inside the jar. So many people are spending too much time working in their business, which is not allowing them to work enough on their business. And if you're not working on your business, you can't grow and scale it. So what we've really done in this book, we've compiled all the different foundational aspects of what any person, again, what we've put into this book, it is duplicatable and it's replicatable where every single person that reads this book, if they apply what we teach, you could have a feel-good business too. Your business should feel good. You should not be working 24/7. That's why we have chosen to only work 3 days a week, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. That's it. We are off Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every single week, and we have been for the last 4 years. And our
Wow.
revenues continue to grow each and every year because we continue to optimize everything that we are doing. And the fact is, there are foundational things that you need to have in place. You need to have a clear content strategy. You have to have a clear marketing strategy. You have to know who your ideal client is. You have to know who your client avatar is. So understanding your marketing and branding strategy is one piece of the puzzle, but also your sales and lead gen process. So what social media platform are you going to use to generate your leads, to generate sales? But also the financial aspect. Do you have all the necessary things in place to grow and scale your business? And then it goes into the, I would say, the scaling portion, which is starting to hire out. And I'm not talking about hiring employees. I'm talking about having a couple people that are able to take some of the things off your plate. And if you've done things right, you have some SOPs in place, standard orders of procedures, where someone can come in, whether you've hired them off of Upwork or Fiverr or some sort of independent contracting type of platform, where they can step in and they can manage your support email, or they can help you with some of the social media stuff that you're doing. You want to take things off of your plate. So you want to be able to grow and have something where it doesn't require you all the time, but also it doesn't require a lot of spending on the outsourcing. And I think this is the problem. You see all those people say that they have $1 million business, but what you don't know is that their profit margin is maybe 20%. So for every $1 million that they make, they're only profiting $200,000 before taxes. So if you then
Wow.
figure taxes into it, which you're probably paying about 40%, they're only making $400,000 or $40,000 or $80,000. So it's about working smarter and not harder. And if your business does not feel good, if it's creating overwhelm, if it's creating stress, if it's not fun, you have to reevaluate how you're going about it. And again, above all else, if you do not have a North Star, if you do not have a clear vision of what you want to create and where you want your business to be 3 to 5 years from now, you're never going to hit the target. You have to think about the end in mind and where you are now, and it's just filling the gaps in between.
Wow, I am so excited for our audience to have all of your wisdom vibes here, because clarity to me is always step one. You got to know where you're going. And I've definitely been there where I spend more money than I make on team. So I really think starting with the end in mind and the business model that you and your wife have set up, because I've done it the other way too. I've ended up burnt out, and it's just not sustainable to work. And you hear that like some kind of badge of honor, like everyone's telling you the hustle is real, rest when you're dead, but you're saying that's not necessarily true.
No, again, what's the point of hustling if it's just going to kill you? So it's the marathon approach, not the sprint approach.
Right.
So the analogy that I like to use with people is that you can take Usain Bolt, who is arguably the greatest short track sprinter ever. You can put him in any marathon and he will lose every single time because he is built for speed. He is not built for distance. And if
Right.
you want a sustainable business, you don't want that business built and predicated on the speed at which you build it. You want it predicated on the distance and the longevity and the duplication and the simplicity of that business. That's what, so, it's the hockey stick effect. So anyone that is familiar with the hockey stick, you meander along for X amount of years and you're just going along and along. And then all of a sudden it starts to curve up and then it shoots through the roof. That's exactly where Nancy and I are. We were just crawling along for year in, year out. And then all of a sudden it started to go up and now it's through the roof. So we've taken that marathon approach that we teach people. Now, obviously, we have courses, we have a mastermind that shortens that hockey stick to more of a 12-month model where in 12 months, people can do what we've done in the last 5 years in a very short amount of time, because once the concept is proven and once you have a system in place, you can just teach it to other people. And that's what we're doing now. Like, we had a woman in our mastermind within 12 months went from $50,000 a year to nearly $300,000 her next year just by applying what we teach. And that's duplicatable for anyone that is willing to do the work, set aside the time, and take the necessary action.
I love it. We all need to put in the reps. We have to have the duplicatable business model. And I know you and I met on LinkedIn. And when is this book coming out? I'm going to be on the waiting list. I want to be first one in.
Yeah, I'll get you the wait list for it. It drops March 26, 2024. We'll be having actually prizes and giveaways all that week. So people that leave a review on Amazon, a 5-star rating and honest review, they purchase the book, they take a screenshot of it, they post it on social and tag us. You'll be entered into a drawing to win some coaching programs that we have, courses that we have, either AirPods or Beats by Dre headphones, Amazon gift cards, a ton of stuff. So we always like to put things back in the pockets of those that support us. And we can't wait for people to get their hands on this book.
Well, I'm going to be one of those people. Thank you for all your wisdom bombs. Where can people find you?
Well, obviously, LinkedIn's a great place. It's really easy to find me on there, or any other social media platform. If you just Google me, you'll find me. If you want to connect with myself and my wife, our website is www.thetimetogrowth.com. That's where you can learn about some of the products and services that we have in place to support entrepreneurs, coaches, and consultants. And then for me personally, scottaaron.net is where you can learn all about my LinkedIn strategy and some free LinkedIn resources that I have on there as well.
Scott Aaron, The Time to Grow. Thanks for being a wonderful guest on the podcast.
Thank you, Lisa.